Hello teachers and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to share my walkthrough of my own Google Classroom page so that way you can get some tips and tricks to implement for your own pages. So here I'm showing you my 9th grade honors English class, and as you can see I wanted to make this page pop a little bit more and also add a little bit of humor to match my personality, so I made my own custom banner, and this is something that you guys can do as well, and you'll need the precise dimensions, but it is pretty easy and you could just use the same template and you could Google templates. And then I also added that with the Bitmoji add-on for Google Chrome, and I added my own little pictures of my own cartoon characters here, and I added some humor here with sanitized and missing them. Now, one thing that I really love doing that I actually learned from Alice Keeler, and you could go to alicekeeler.com to learn more about her Google materials, is adding this pointer finger straight up to the classwork page, and I even added text next to it that says click there for your assignments, because too many of my students were only staying on the stream page and trying to find all their work this way, and as you can see it gets buried and there's a lot of stuff there. So I really like doing that, and I found that it helps students as well. Now, moving on to the classwork tab, as you can see, I have a lot of topics, but that's because I broke it down by every single week of distance learning. So it doesn't actually bother me to look at this long list of dates right here of work due, work due, work due, because I don't need to click on the all topics and have this long stream. And besides, if I'm grading and I'm up to date with everything, I could disregard the stuff down at the bottom. But if I really wanted to, and if you're sitting there thinking, wow, you really got to scroll down to get to earlier work, what if somebody submitted something really late? Well, all I have to do is on the left side, click on whatever series of dates I want, and it'll bring me straight to that. So it acts as a filter. So if I want to go all the way back to March 23rd to 27th, all I have to do is click on that, and now it filtered all of those assignments right here, and it'll tell me if I graded them or not as well. So I really like this because the students have access to this as well. All they have to do is click on any one of these dates and they can see what assignments are right there. This really helps with organization. Now, you probably also noticed that on my assignments here underneath the topics, I have these little icons, emojis, and I really like using them because it helps with my organization. These aren't just for fun, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So if I go down to the final essay assignment that's due on June 8th right here, you could see that I have a little picture, a little icon right there that shows a piece of paper and a pen. That's telling them that this is a writing assignment, that they need to submit something in writing. And I do that because not all of my work submitted is written work. A lot of it is video based. Some of it is presentation based. So for instance, the one right above that, I wanted them to make a screencast of their essay revisions, explaining to me in a few minutes how they revised their essay. So I have a little video camera there reminding them that this is a video assignment. You need to upload a video. Now for do now questions, I put a little check mark, and that tells them, hey, I need to make sure to do that, and it is an attendance do now. Now, yes, Google Classroom does have their own icons to the left, but it's limited. For instance, my attendance do now question has a little question mark, and that's fine, but what looks more colorful? Well, obviously the blue check mark. So it helps with my organization as well because I can cycle through all this material easier. And if I'm scrolling through all of these assignments, even if I filter them, I can know what stands out. I can know what's a written assignment. I can know what's a video assignment. Now, if you're interested, I used another Google Chrome add-on in order to get these emojis, and it's called Emoji Keyboard, and you can see that there's a little heart right here, and you can choose from a bunch of different emojis just like you would on your phone. Now, I also use the Emoji Keyboard on my stream page when I make announcements. For instance, if I was to make an announcement right now, I would click in, and instead of just writing attention, I really want to make sure that they know that there is a specific assignment or a specific announcement that I'm making that they need to pay attention to. So often I'll do the speaker and I'll just keep putting it there, and notice it's putting it in the background, or I could copy and paste it. Sometimes I'll put the news icon, and then I'll write in between it attention. And then underneath I'll have it. That way when they get the notification, it really pops out to them instead of just the words, right? It's visually appealing. So I also like using the Emoji Keyboard because I can search for any image right here on my Google Classwork page. So as we know before, I have a lot of topics, but let's say I wanted to search through all of the topics and I wanted to look at specifically writing assignments. So ones with the emoji of the piece of paper with the pen. Well, if I hit Control F on my keyboard and I bring up the search bar here, I can copy and paste an image of that emoji right here, and it'll tell me how many times it appears on this individual web page, which is my classwork tab. So here it's 1 out of 39, and I can cycle through and notice down at the bottom here, it is coming up and highlighting where I can find this stuff. So that helps me because if I wanted to just quickly see how many writing assignments there are, I can just put that down and I can now see I had at least 39 writing assignments that they had to submit, some long, some short. Now, you might also note on my classwork tab that the very first topic that I have says lesson slides, and there's only one material. That's what this icon means over to the left. There's only one material up there, and those are my slideshow for every single lesson that we have. I don't post all my videos here. I don't post all my documents here on Google Classroom. I'm just using it for announcements and also to collect work so my students know. So I put this up at the top because now when my students go on this classwork page, they know that every day they have a lesson, they're going to click on the virtual lessons and then my Google slide is there. And I update this Google slide continually. I don't do additional slides. I have one slide they have viewing access for so they could open this at any time. And then if I click on it, all of my lessons are going to be right in here. So as you can see, I even hyperlinked on the very first page all of the lessons. So if they wanted to go all the way back to the first lesson, March 18th, they could click on it and it tells them to go to slide 157 and then they could click on that and it actually brings them down to the very slide that that lesson appears on. And this is how I've conducted all of virtual learning as well. And quite honestly, I'm probably going to implement this in the actual classroom because it worked very well. All I do is upload what I want them to do. So I'll label the assignment, I'll label the actual date, and I tell them what to do. I give them reminders to make sure they do the attendance due now. I give them instructions for the lesson. And then whenever they have an assignment like this, essay revisions, I number it within Google Classroom, and I also number it right here, and I put the Google Classroom logo. That is telling them that it is something that they need to submit. It's not just something that they need to watch. It's specifically something that they need to put on Google Classroom for a grade. Now, I also hyperlink that image, as you can see, which takes them to that very assignment. So if they were to click on this, and I'll do it here, it's going to open up my Google Classroom page and bring me straight to that assignment, which is the final essay here. So it does the same thing for students. I did that to help them organize their work, and so that way I don't get any excuses of, oh, I didn't know that that was an assignment. I didn't know that was due, because they're seeing it in two places. They're seeing it very clearly on my Google Slides, which I update for every single lesson, and they're seeing it very clearly on my Google Classroom page under classwork, and they do get the notifications of that. So it has been very helpful because that's right up at the top. I'm not letting this get buried. I'm not changing it around. I wanted the lessons themselves to be right here, and I built the procedure of they log into Google Classroom, they open up the Google Slides, they go through their lessons. If anything has a Google Classroom logo, it's something that they need to submit. So that is just a very brief walkthrough of my Google Classroom page for my freshman English class, but I run most of my pages identical to that. I might change up some of the images, I might change up some of the icons, but the structure of it is essentially the same. It has really helped me organize what I need to grade. It has helped my students know what they need to do, and having it paired with my Google slide deck of all of my lessons there and linking the individual assignments has been monumental in helping me stay organized and efficient during distance learning, and I know it's going to carry over to the actual classroom. So if you're interested in other videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and look at these other video playlists.